So I'm done staining and painting. I did not put any finish on this yet because I don't want to put on finish until I'm done assembling everything, because our water-based polyurethane finish is a good coating for this paint as well. So I want to get everything put together and then I'll do my finishing. If you're wondering what to stain and paint, anything that's exposed should be stained and painted. So I left all of this untouched because what I'm going to do is use some wood glue to help bond the faces of these materials together. So anything that you're not going to see does not need any stain or paint. Right now I'm looking at the bottom side of the top here because I'm going to start my assembly. So I got a little bit of raw material still there, which is good for the glue contact. So I've got everything positioned how I want it. I still have some extra paint here as well because I'm sure I'm going to have to do some touch-ups after everything's assembled. So it's good to have any kind of custom colors, have a little bit extra. That way you don't have to attempt to try to mix up the same exact color again. So I've got plenty of these containers, just ask for one. Now, we're also going to need a few different bits here. I've got my square drive bit to drive in these 1.25" screws. We're going to need to drill pilot holes, so I've got my 1/8 inch drill bit. And what I did was I put some tape around here. This is going to tell me how deep I need to drill, because I do not want this drill bit drilling through the top here. So when I flip piece A down onto the top, now I need to pre-drill for 2 screws here. So I set this to a little less than the thickness of both of these added together. So 3/4 plus 3/4 equals 1.5 inches. I set this at about 1.25 inches. It's not going to stop you from drilling deeper. It's just going to kind of give you a warning like, hey, don't drill any deeper than where the tape is. Okay, so you got to be aware of that when you're doing your drilling. After I'm done with my pilot hole, I need to do a countersink, so I've got a countersink bit ready to go. I got some wood glue here and a clamp. So I'm all set to start my assembly. Now with the wood glue, we're going to put this on the raw, untouched pieces of material here. Don't put it on too thick. I can take a look where this is going to be positioned. That way I don't spread glue where one of these holes is as well. So I'm going to put some right around here. Not too thick, because whatever oozes out, you're going to be able to see that along the outside edges there. So I'm going to put this into place, get it centered on the top. You can measure it out if you need to. And when it's set where you want it, take your clamp so that's clamped into position right now. So I'm going to drill my pilot hole. I want to put 2 into each layer, and be careful that you don't hit the big hole that's underneath there. So I'm going to drill it off to the side here. And I'm going to countersink it. You don't want to make the countersink too deep. It should be just the size of the screw head. So I can drill it, take my screw, the head should fit in there. You do not want this head sticking up above the surface at all, because we've got another layer going on top of that. So that one's deep enough. I'll do the same to the other side. Then I'll drive in my screws. Go. So now this layer is done. Now I can move on to the next layer, and I'm going to keep doing that. Now, for the next layer, I want to stagger my screws. I don't want to put 2 screws exactly where I put the last 2, so I'm going to stagger them up just a little bit. But I'm going to keep doing this layer by layer all the way up. Put on a little glue, position it, clamp it down, drill your holes. So let's finish this assembly. Okay, so my assembly is all done. If I turn the wheel, it still spins freely. Everything looks good. I got some touch-up painting like I thought I would have to do. Maybe a little bit on the bottom, a little on the top. Otherwise it looks pretty decent. Now I can put a coat of water-based polyurethane on here. And then I'm going to worry about putting the ring on here and the jar.